Hey folks, welcome to this episode of the Bar Dad. Hey folks, welcome to this episode of the...
You got a flashlight?
No! Hey folks, welcome to this episode of the Bar Dad. Today, we're talking flaming Spanish coffee. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So pull up a chair and we'll chat about it.
It's the Bar Dad.
Hey folks, welcome back. You sure? We're good?
That's called the pregnant pause.
Not until she's married. Hey folks, welcome back. All right. Hey, before we get into the meat of things today, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the like button because we want you a part of the Bar Dad family. Because today, I am extremely excited about our special guest today. I've known this guy all my life. I've known him in utero. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's kind of hard to do.
You cast a big shadow. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding. The dad of the Bar Dad is here today. Jim, welcome, sir. Good to see you. That's cheers right there.
Cheers.
Let's see.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. He's learning from his son. It's awesome. All right. So I have to drink.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. So why did I bring you today? Spanish coffee. And most people out there are like, the hell? It's not like Cafe Bustelo? No?
Yeah.
Here's the... You, go. Did you want to...
You're rolling. Go ahead and roll.
It's my show finally.
Yeah, I know.
Picture this, Bar Dad people. Growing up in the 70s, and dinner parties were big in the 70s, right? So I remember being like 10, and my parents inviting a bunch of their co-workers and friends over, and it was big doings, right? Because mom started cooking like 24 hours earlier, and all the fine china. The only time we ever saw the fine china was at the dinner parties, right?
Yep.
And we had to see it from afar. And the kids, we were like ushered downstairs, right? We filled up our plates, and then we went downstairs, and they had a big dinner party. And everybody was in tweed jackets and turtlenecks.
No, just a sweater.
Just a sweater vest. You've rocked a few sweater vests in your time.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Right, yeah.
And the long like caftan, like kind of glowing things, and I don't know, it was just a lot of tweed it looked like back there, and marigolds and oranges and greens.
That was on the wall.
Our fridge was green.
Yes, it was.
But anyway, so my father here, after dinner was over and the dessert was served, because it was like an 8-course meal, right?
And after a lot of wine.
After a lot of wine, they would bring out the Spanish coffee setup. And my father, right here, I'm going to speak about him in the third person, put on this show with coffee and flames and booze, and it was pretty insane. And we would sneak up and we'd peek into the dining room, and we'd see Dad flames flying high and drinks flying all over the place. And it was very, very cool. And I wanted to not only showcase the Spanish coffee scene and experience with you, but I wanted to highlight my dad, because blame him for being the cause of the Bar Dad, because I was very interested in you kind of, people watched you. I'm an entertainer, right? So you were entertaining. This was like your stage. I'm talking a lot. You feel free to jump in.
You're doing a great job. Great job. We first found that in a place called Lodge of the Four Seasons in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. And there was a nice restaurant in the middle of it. And they had Spanish coffee. And my wife says, you can do that. And, I had to do it. I've had flames on my fingers. I had flames running down the middle of the table. I didn't think it was bad, but my wife was kind of upset about it. But it's a nice thing to show. The only problem is you only get 2 glasses out of a mixture. You have to do it over again.
So it takes forever. So if you're doing it for an entire party.
It takes forever.
Do you get the first one or do you get the last one? Probably not good.
Probably the last
one, because you don't get hammered with flames flying around in your living room.
I put more glue in it.
So it's pretty exciting, because if you think about the 1970s, like the most famous cocktail of the 70s, like the Harvey Wallbanger, right? Which is like you know, I read an article, they called it the dark ages of mixed cocktails in the 1970s. There really wasn't anything very cool coming out of it. But you went to this, it was probably kind of dark and very dark wood in
Spanish theme.
Spanish theme?
Absolutely, almost black.
There we go. And you brought this back and you've introduced it. And I've never made it before. Yes, it was a big part of my growing up and seeing that, but I've never done it. So this is the first time I've made
Are
Spanish.
you going to practice on screen, or are you going to let me do it?
My wife is probably going to dress me in asbestos and put me out somewhere in the backyard. If you've seen the absinthe episode where I literally set my hand on fire, risk management called and said, "Yeah, you want to put them out back in asbestos."
Okay.
So I did some research
Okay.
on the drink and like, well, what's the origins of it? And I read a couple of articles that said it came from this place called the Huber Lounge in Portland, Oregon.
Really? Okay.
Portland, Oregon, early 1970s,
Mm-hmm.
right? And a couple articles said, the Huber Lounge founded the Spanish coffee. But then I read another article that said it was actually stolen from the Fernwood Inn in Milwaukee, who stole it from a place in Mexico. So we really don't know the true origins.
We stole it from a place in Spain.
In Spain, that's right. So interestingly enough, this origins go back like 1,000 years or so.
Probably.
That they were saying when the Spaniards came over, the conquistadors, the colonists, or what do they call them now? What's the term?
Invaders.
Invaders.
Indigenous.
That took over the indigenous people. We don't like them anymore, but we did like the drink that they created. But anyway, they had the strong coffee, right?
Right.
But what the soldiers did is to give them courage. See where I'm going?
Yes.
To give them courage, they added rum or brandy to the coffee.
True.
And they called it the coraje. I apologize to my first language Spanish folks out there. Even the third language Spanish people, that was probably pretty coraje. Coraje.
Yep.
Coraje.
Sounds good.
Good. Okay. Bueno.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. So courage, right? Well, what they did is down the road they added more things to it. They've added sugar to give it kind of a sweeter taste to it, and they turned it into the corajita.
Sounds good to me.
He's easy. It's all Greek to him. Actually, you have a couple of those, and that's all you do is go. And then that just moved into the very descriptive Spanish coffee.
Yes.
So if I went up to you and says, "Would you like a corajita?" or "Would you like a Spanish coffee?"
I prefer the second one.
The second one? You're boring as hell, Dad.
Okay. I need some courage. Yeah, right here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, when we come back, we're going to deconstruct it, show you what goes in it, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. All right, Dad. So we've got all of the accoutrement that's going to go into this.
Yes.
And by the way, they go into a glass, like a wine glass with a stem, right? So we'll talk about that in a second. So do you want to walk us through the different ingredients that we have here?
The first thing you need to start off with is some lemon juice and some sugar, granulated sugar. What we're going to do is dip the rim of the glass in the lemon juice and dip it into the sugar so that when we flame it, it'll tend to crystallize a little bit. It'll give it more of a candy flavor on the outside.
Now, some recipes I saw called for brown sugar, but you
Right.
prefer white sugar. Why?
Well, brown sugar tends to clump up more, and it's a globule, if you will, when you light it. So it's harder to.
Yum.
It's easier to chew on when you break it off the glass, but it's not easy to drink from.
There's
So
no more delicious word than globule.
globule, well, that's the way it is. Okay, then the flaming is done with the brandy. Okay, we pour, in this case, we'll pour probably 1.5 jiggers of brandy into a glass. We'll put twice of it in it because it's for two.
Okay.
We will light the flame and we'll
So
start it.
So
This is
sterno.
sterno,
Right.
good old-fashioned sterno.
Okay.
Okay, that's what heats the glass. When we've got it heated up so that it's vaporizing, we'll pour it back and forth and make it look really pretty.
Yeah, we're gonna turn off the set lights to try to get as
Okay.
dark as possible
All right.
in here and
Okay.
kind of really
Then we'll add the
special
Kahlua
effects.
and we'll add orange liqueur, whatever you prefer.
So you could use triple sec or curacao or Grand Marnier or anything like that. Okay.
Understand that it's mixed with all this other stuff and coffee, so you can probably get a cheaper brand and not worry about the very expensive stuff.
Okay. And we have some coffee. You talked about
Coffee,
the coffee.
you add the coffee. We need whipping cream and nutmeg. Uh-oh.
Oh, we forgot stuff.
Whipping cream.
Props!
There are two more things that we have to use.
Okay.
One is a napkin rolled up like this that goes around the glass and is tied. The reason you do that is that if you've got hot coffee in here and stuff that's been flamed and you grab a hold of it, it's like grabbing a cup of coffee from a drive-thru restaurant without putting that. It's been the most important thing.
Most important thing? I got it right here.
Okay. A fire extinguisher. We're playing with fire. We're going to actually flame the brandy. Now it has a lower flash point than some other liquids, but it still can burn things. I would suggest that if you're going to do this, talk to your fire department, talk to your public service department, in case I screw up. Now, I haven't done this in probably 30 years, so
well, that's encouraging.
There's a chance. Okay. So,
by the way, can you tell he's the dad of the bar dad? So you need to call your local fire department and let them know you're making cocktails. And he's probably going to want an invitation. It seems pretty involved. So the next segment, you're going to take us through actually making and I'll tell you what, I'm going to have you make it, and I'll be your surgeon, because I want everybody to see it. We'll switch places.
Okay.
And then when you call for something, I'll hand it to you. Then we can put it back so everybody can see your stage.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, we're back. We're going to get the sugar and lemon juice on the rim of the glass. So it's very easy. You just dunk it into your lemon juice. It doesn't have to be that deep. And swish it around in the sugar. There you go.
Oh, that's pretty. Nice. That's pretty. Look at that.
Now we'll shake the sugar down so it gets rid of the rot that was in there from the first one. And we simply do this on the second one. And we've got it. Now, if you had brown sugar, it'd probably be a lot more lumpy than that. So,
all right.
That's all we need.
So, by the way, for you less observant bar dad folks, we swapped places. That's my dad and I'm the bar dad. Just making sure you're all good. Okay.
We're like twins.
We're not having a power outage. We thought in order to really enhance the whole showmanship of the Spanish coffee that we turned off the lights for this flaming part here. So we're definitely prepared with a half in the bag dad working with the flames, as well as the fire extinguisher here. So, all right, Pop, the stage is yours. Why don't you talk through what you're doing?
Okay, what I've got here is sterno, which is used to do a lot of heating for foods and stuff like that. I've got it on a ceramic pad so that if it spills over or whatever, it's not lighting everything up. The lid is over here. I'm going to use, or he's going to use, pliers to cover it up when it's done, because this can's going to be very hot and you don't want the flames coming out and biting you. So let's see if this thing works. Ah, it does.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay, first thing we do, we're going to be pouring from glass to glass. So I'm going to use a shot per drink, which means that I'm going to put 2 shots in one glass, because that's how I heat it up. And then I start pouring back and forth.
One. Uno. It is Spanish coffee.
Uno.
Uno. Dos shatitos. That about right?
A little bit of, what do you call it, tax?
Floater? Yeah. You never have too much brandy on the bar dad.
There we are.
All right, good? Okay.
Okay. Don't get your finest china. Don't get the glasses with the thinnest glass rims. They'll shatter. You need something with a little thickness to it so it tends to absorb heat
I'm ready.
and distribute the heat a little bit more. So we slowly rotate it. And this is one of those things that you have to say, well, I think it's going to be hot enough. And you need to get it hot enough so that when you pour it into cold glass,
So the liquid has to get hot enough in order for it to
start to vaporize. It actually starts to vaporize a little bit. Now, back in the old days, I was able to hold it maybe 3 or but 6 or 7 inches apart and really do the showman. But I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
today.
that's okay. We totally get it.
You don't.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that. You all see that? How cool is that?
There we are.
There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of divide it
Okay.
into things it'll slowly burn out.
It'll slowly burn out. Okay.
Okay.
Do we need the
Let's get the pliers and
right
put
here?
the lid on it.
Right
Yeah.
here. I'll let you do the honors for that.
Okay. You do it that way because it's very hot.
Oh, careful.
You put it on there with your fingers, you're probably going to get it burned.
Okay. So it's still flaming.
Yeah, but we'll put it up. Okay,
Okay.
now what we add
Yep. What you need, Kahlua or the brine?
is an ounce of Kahlua,
Kahlua.
one in each.
Even if it's still flaming.
Now this should put the flame out because this is cold.
Honey.
No, it doesn't, but that's okay.
Live television, folks. That one's out. Okay.
Yeah. This one you give to somebody that you want to get really drunk because you're condensing the liquid.
Sugars. And then
Okay,
the orange.
and then the orange.
It does have a cap on it, so.
Okay. See, it's out now, so it's finally burned out. Sugar's really melting, so the glass is very hot.
Okay.
There we
All
go.
right. Look at that.
Okay, now, so we've got all our alcohol.
That was impressive, by the way. I like the whole flame.
Okay,
You still got it.
it's easy to start a fire. Okay, right?
Right.
Okay, so we've got all our alcohol in here now. Now we need to put the coffee in.
I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but just look at all the cool caramelization of that sugar on that glass. That is
This
so
glass
cool.
got hotter because that's the one I mixed it in. That's why you've got more running on it. The coffee you want to add to maybe a ½ an inch from the lip because you want to put the whipped cream in it and have it at least stabilized inside there, not just float off the top of it. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I lifted a
Okay.
cup of coffee.
All right.
All right.
Good. Let me move this over here. I want to shake that up a little bit. Oh my God, look at that. The nutmeg.
The nutmeg.
Oh, there's a thing to do.
And the piece de resistance,
The napkins.
the napkins. Now my wife did this, so bear with me.
It's okay. Let me hold the napkin sturdy there.
I would hold the glass, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That is pretty impressive.
I'm available to do this, but I don't come cheap. Okay,
All right.
so here you are. Spanish coffee, a la Lake of the Ozarks.
A la Cubers, a la Fernwood Inn,
Right, right.
out of the Spanish conquistadors, which we don't like anymore. Cheers,
Sure.
Dad. I think this is like the first Spanish coffee you and I maybe have shared.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a moment. Are you capturing this moment for me, my producer? Where's my still? It's on video, but I want a still photography, right? All right. Cheers.
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh well.
All right. Well, we're gonna pass this around the audience. We're gonna get my dad cleaned up, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. So we made some Spanish coffees for the audience. What do you think?
Yum.
Yeah.
They're on the floor.
This is, I'm not just telling it because you gave me life. This is out freaking standing. Not just the show and the whole thing that went into it and the anticipation of getting it. So obviously you've got the whipped cream and the nutmeg and stuff. And then as you get down, you get the orange notes from the curacao. And tasting it is just an explosion of flavor.
It just tastes good to me.
You've got the caramelized sugar, you know, which adds to the experience. But then Kahlua and coffee together, and then you get the hit of the brandy, which is the more the woody kind of the spike of the sharpness of the alcohol in there, and obviously the coffee just kind of rounds it out. But it is unbelievable, and it's strong as hell because there's a minimum of 3 ounces of alcohol in each one of these glasses.
Absolutely.
So it's it is a put you on your type of drink. Bar Dad folks, I tell you again, if you do the Spanish coffee, which we recommend it because it's a really kind of cool experience, please be careful anytime you use flame. I would say don't do as he does, but he's not really an expert. He's just a dad that likes playing with fire, which most of us do.
That's why go to your fire department and your public safety department to learn about which fire extinguishers to use and where to place them. Let them tell you how to do it.
Yes, I spent 4 hours at the fire department just clearing this episode. Okay. All right, so Dad, I thank you very much for coming out and sharing this experience with me. Not only was it a big deal for us to share the Bar Dad stage, right, and to bring you in. I know you've been a fan for a long time. You know, not as early as everybody else was. You caught on eventually down the road, and I appreciate that. I do. You know, supporting your oldest son, but the fact that you were here, we shared the stage, and you and I shared a childhood experience of mine that I remember very fondly. I had my first Spanish coffee. I got to see it made, and it was a true pleasure.
Good. Great.
He's a man of few words. Bar Dad folks, hey, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, find us on Instagram, follow us there, and if you have any questions, comments, smart remarks, or want to know how to talk to the fire department about getting the 40 ounces or 40 ounces to get your 40-page site certification to do Spanish coffee at your house. By the way, there's 4 engines sitting outside the house right now ready to jump in.
So we've got a lot to make.
Yes, we do. So email me at thebardad@gmail.com. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always keep your Spanish coffee close, your fathers closer.
Fathers? Father.
Mom didn't tell you?
Oh, no.
Let's try that again. You know, it's not really good to air out family history and dirty laundry in front of a live audience, you know. Till next time, folks, keep your Spanish close. This is strong. Till next time, keep your Spanish coffee close, your father closer, and even closer than that, your ABC fire extinguisher.
There you go.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Keep your friends close and your scotch closer. It's the Bar Dad.